Hey guys, so today is the anniversary of my grandma Darlene's passing. So I woke up and I was talking to her. I miss her a lot. One of a kind grandmother. She spoiled me, loved me, and was just an awesome grandmother. I was very sad to lose her when I was 18 years old. Lost her very young. She was pretty much my age now, or maybe like a year older or 2 years older, but she was pretty much my age. And she had an aneurysm, so she wasn't sick. She was healthy. She was actually born with it, and it was on her brain stem. So she just had a really bad headache and then passed away. It was tragic for us. But today I wanted to talk to you about the tarot card of the day. Usually I pick a tarot card of the day, but today's spread, I felt like it was just talking to me. The first card I got is the tarot. The first tarot card that I got is the Tower, which is, so the what helps or hinders area is what is actually like sabotaging this present moment, causing it, or that's what the placement means, the next placement. And I got the 10 of Pentacles, which is very interesting because that card is a lot, it was reversed. It is a lot about family legacy. And I thought it was interesting because it's what today is. And I could feel her energy. The 10 of Pentacles reversed is, I guess I could say it's somebody who stays in a situation where they are not happy or that is not good. We stay together for the kids kind of vibe. So it's kind of like a situation where it's not real healthy, I should say. There's some type of family dynamic that is just not a healthy one. Well, my mind started reeling, and today the card I want to talk about next is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. That's where this is going, because those two cards that I just talked about have a lot to do with the why and the how all that happens. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, it's around papas, is it's a card that I think it's very easy to feel. Now, it comes from a long legacy of women who do all that they can for their family. For instance, I'm going to give you an example. So I thought it was very important that I wanted to be at home for my children. And if any of you are stay-at-home parents, you know the hard work it takes. I mean, you wake up and you have to feed them, you have to change them. And when we have little Velcro babies like this one, he's a little Velcro baby. He's getting that 7, he smiles like, and he's getting to that point where he's, 7 to 8 months, object permanence, and that where they know, they don't want to be apart from you. They're pretty much like, no, you need a hold of me. And psychologically, they do show that children that cry a lot and feel frustrated because they're not being held. There was a time where, people thought, okay, well, let's use the cry out method. It does go to show that studies have proven that they have anger issues because of the frustration of nobody hearing their pleas or their cries, and they've developed that, and it shows that they have more anger later in life. And back then it wasn't about anger, it was about insecurity, and I didn't want my kids to be insecure. What's wrong? Huh? What's wrong? You don't want, is it too cold, this bottle? So, you know, I was psychology major, so I wanted to make sure my children were, you know, getting their needs met. So I wasn't a cry out method type of mom. I was a, you are in my arms, I will listen to you. It's very exhausting. It really is when you're a mom like that. And especially if you don't have a lot of help. And I'm not saying that I didn't have help. My grandma helped me a lot. She really did. And I have a great network of people that helped me. But more than anything, I did it myself. And I made sure that they were fed. I made sure they were taken care of, bathed, and read them books every night. And just that go all out kind of mom. I was also that kind of sister to my sisters, and I took care of them a lot because my mom had to work. And you know, when I think it's very easy with the Queen of Pentacles energy, it's very easy to not get praise for that. You don't get a paycheck, you know, you don't get recognized. I mean, the children grow up and they don't even remember what you did for them, you know, like how much of yourself you gave to take care of them. They don't know that. They don't remember that, you know, like if you have a child that you take care of and you don't see them for a time, you know, they're not going to remember you, you know. So the Queen of Pentacles energy is that energy where, you know, it's kind of weird because sometimes even the fathers or the men don't realize how much that what you've given, you know. They may see, oh, well, she never worked, which I think is just, it's worse than hogwash, seriously. Because you didn't have a paycheck coming in, you didn't work. Like, you couldn't clock out and ignore the child for a day, you know what I mean? And it gets very frustrating because you don't get that recognition. You don't. And that is kind of the Queen of Pentacles energy, where people can get very bitter. Very bitter from not getting, not just the recognition, but the frustration of feeling like almost maybe like you're not making a difference, because some people get awards at work, recognition, bonuses, you know, and stay-at-home moms do not. So that's where a lot of that, I'm going to show you what the Queen of Pentacles reverse looks like. So this is the Queen of Pentacles when it's upright. I think it's really easy for stay-at-home parents to feel like they're not celebrated, you know, and it's, like I said, easy to be overlooked. And you know, I remember somebody had said to me at one point that, oh, well, you know, you didn't work, you didn't have a job. And oh my gosh, I felt like I could have lost it for them to even say that to me. And there were many times where I did have a job and I still was that stay-at-home mom, and I didn't give it any less how can I say, energy. So it was almost like having a double job, you know, because went to work and then when I got home, it was like, okay, second job. Although it's our choice to have kids, and even with, you know, like I said, my siblings that my sisters that I took care of every summer, and a lot, especially when I lived with my mom, I pretty much took care of them a lot of the time. I mean, when they had their nightmares, I was the one who was comforting them and stuff like that. So, you know, for people to ever like question somebody's worth ethic and say that because they didn't go somewhere and get a paycheck by somebody else, it just shows how ignorant they are. It really does. And it's frustrating. And I'm upset because some of you did say that, like I said, about me, and they had no right to say that at all. The other part of the Queen of Pentacles reversed is that I think that a lot of us, especially, it comes from, like I said, the legacy of our past and our ancestors, the women of our past. We actually equate with how much we are investing into others as love and loyalty, and so we try to do everything to take care of other people, especially those that we love. We give all of ourselves, you know, and which a lot of the time we actually neglect ourselves, you know, and we put ourselves last. And I know I've done that. I know I've been very guilty of doing that for a long time, many years. And to me, I thought it was okay because these little people did not ask to be brought into this world, and if I'm here to do for them, I will. So there comes that point of where, you know, if we are not giving our all, we feel like we're not giving enough, we burn ourselves out. And also not just burn ourselves out, but we neglect ourselves, our own feelings, our own, you know. So that's the other, I guess, reason why we need to get the Queen of Pentacles upright, because we need to start taking care of ourselves more, you know, and knowing that, you know, we are worthy. And it doesn't mean that we are only worthy because we do X, Y, and Z. We are worthy because we are worthy. If I fail, I lose love. If I choose me, I'm selfish. So we hustle and hustle and hustle just to feel like we are enough. And then when nobody claps, we feel resentful. This is generational. This didn't start with me. This was generational. And you know what? The women before, in the past, they called it normal. I will not glamorize their exhaustion or my own, you know? And how dare anybody judge me and say that, you know, because I didn't leave somewhere, go somewhere. You know, I will be honest with you, there are times when my kids were little and I went to work and I felt like I was having a break. I'm serious. I felt like it was a break. I was like, oh, I was alone, and I was, you know, had my me time. You know, you can go to the bathroom at work by yourself. People who have never done it can always judge other people. And that's the point, is that people always want to feel like they're doing it the hardest, or because of them, you know? And it really does take a village. It really does. So, with the Queen of Pentacles, I think it's really important that we realize that this little guy right here, my kids, anybody I've cared for, this is what I'm getting out of it. The smiles, the love, the trust, the innocence. It's not about performance. This is it. This is it. This is what I'm getting. And it's enough. It's great. Oh! 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 My thing is, don't let anybody shrink you. Don't let anybody shrink you. Ooh, woo, woo, woo. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. And sometimes we don't need applause from others. I think one of the main things that this card was reminding me today is that, like I said, my grandma was extremely young when she passed, and all she did probably the 2 years before she died was talk about retirement. She was so happy to retire. She had all these plans, and she would tell me everything was when I retire, when I retire, when I retire. And some people, they don't get that. They don't get to I mean, you may retire next week and pass away today, you know? So I think it's really important that, you know, we live the life that we want to live today. And if you are not happy with what you have today, then tomorrow it's not going to change. It's not going to make a difference, you know? Like, it's like, oh, I'll be happy once I get that truck. I'll be happy once I get that house. I'll be happy once I get, you fill it in, you know? Once I retire. And you know what? Some of us don't get to that point. And even if we do, we're going to see that things are really just the same. And Bingo was his name. Oh, tick, 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 tick. See you guys later. I hope you have a great weekend. And baby toes, I love them, especially these right here.